Alright friends, welcome to Mining Positivity with PJ, and it is the first Monday in April, and we are here in this ancient city to do our Monday Mine. If you're new around here and you're not sure what the Monday Mine is, and that is basically where we talk about something positive in our lives or challenging, and we mine for things. We see what kind of, ores and resources we can find, and I thought it would be fun to come down and do this inside of a double ancient city. So there's an ancient city here, and there's an ancient city that's spawned over that way, somewhere around here. But I already see some diamond up there. I think we're gonna have a lot of luck and success just mining things. So I'm gonna walk around just kind of mining and doing stuff until, oh no, we don't want that. We don't need any of that. Hopefully there won't be too much of that going on. But yeah, we'll do some mining in here. We'll see what we can find, and we'll just have a nice talk. Let me get some music going. Okay, as we get started here, I realize this is actually in creative mode. There won't be any mobs spawning, and I do realize the screechers might be, or the screeching sound might be a distraction. So I may or may not actually just turn off all the sound together. But today we're going to be talking about making peace with things in our life that we just can't change. This can be a lot of different things. This could be a test score for a class and we took an exam and we didn't get a great score, or we did get a great score, but it is what it is and we can't change it. This could be something as silly as YouTube's algorithm and the amount of views that we get on a particular video or not, and we just can't change it. This could be us getting older and realizing that we're not as young as we used to be, and particular times of our lives have ended, and it is what it is. This could be the loss of a relationship, or even the loss of a loved one. This could even be a diagnosis of an illness that can't be cured. But there are things that will come into our lives as we live throughout our story that we just simply don't have any control over, and we can't change them. But it can be really difficult sometimes to acknowledge that there are certain things that we just don't have the ability to do anything about it. And instead, what we do is we struggle with this unchangeable thing, and we fight against it, and we spend a lot of energy and time struggling with this thing, when really we just need to learn to acknowledge that it is what it is. This is always easier said than done. But going back to some of our examples here, we talked about that test score. Some of us will have an experience in our education where we'll let it define us because we didn't achieve a certain level that we thought we would. And so we'll always be striving to just undo that particular event, but we can't, and we shouldn't. We should just allow those things to be what they are. As a YouTuber and a lot of other YouTubers, we are always looking at views and counts and subscribers and all this silly stuff, and we can get really caught up in those things, and we could be like, oh no, I'm wasting my time here, or I need to make different content, or I need to be more energetic, or whatever it may be, instead of just letting it be what it is. Now, this next example is one that is personal to me. So I'm getting much older now, and I'm entering into that later stages of life, and it's hard sometimes to realize like I'm not as young as I used to be. And when I go out running and I go running for miles and miles, and then the next day I'm suffering from it, I want to fight against my age. I want to fight against time, but you can't do those things. Some people lose a relationship, and instead of realizing that it's gone, they will fight for that person back who doesn't want to even be in their life. And they waste so much time and energy struggling with those things. And really, really dangerous is that we can actually be defined by our struggle against things that we can't change. And that's tragic, because that means that we'll never overcome these things because they're not within our control. And because we can't bring ourselves to acknowledge that, and we can't bring ourselves to let it go, we get defined by our struggle with that particular thing that we'll never have victory over. In general, in life, it's always good to look at the things that are happening around you and to just say, is this something I really have any control over it? And if not, how do I just look past this and focus on the things that I actually do have control over? For instance, the test score. If you had a very bad test score or didn't pass a particular college exam that you were looking for, you can't do anything about that. It's said and done. But what you can do is take a new course, try a new path, study harder for another test, and focus on something else that you actually do have control over, and not allow your thoughts to be dwelling on what could have been or what may have happened. That's the trap of this. That's the trap of not making peace with things that you can't change in your life, is that you get stuck on, I can't let this go because I could have been this, I could have done that, I could have had this. But that is just tragedy. Living that way is just tragedy. Let things go that are outside of our control. When we finally get to that point where we can tell the difference between what is in our control and outside of our control, and then we can fully let go of those things that are outside of our control, we can live a much happier and fulfilling life. Nobody wants to run an unwinnable race. That makes no sense. As a runner, I would never want to join in a competition that had a track that you can't complete. And you would run, but it would never end because it was an uncompletable track. That would be madness. But a lot of us actually do live our lives caught in a similar trap where we struggle and fight with things that we can't change in our lives because we just feel like we can't let it go. But we can. We can let it go. And so, to wrap all this up, I just want to encourage you, spend some time looking at those things that you've been feeling like you're struggling with. Those things that you feel like maybe were a disappointing point in your life. And ask yourself, were those things actually ever within your control? And not only that, but if they were in your control, they are no longer in your control. They are the past. And we can let those things go, and we can live happier, fuller lives. Guys, I hope you're having fantastic days. I really do, and I wish the best for you. All right, friends, hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode of the Monday Mind. This is twice a month. We do this the first Monday and the third Monday of every month. And if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments below, considering leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Mining Positivity. I want to get out of here. Bye, friends. See ya.